Alright guys, so right now, this is trending on Twitter. There has been another UFO alien conference in the United States today, and we're going to be looking at a lot of the highlights here with the video, because I find it to be very interesting that there's so many people out there that don't believe that there's other alien life forms, and they're already here. We've been in contact with them for a long time, of my belief, and we're just gonna go through this, and we're gonna probably pause the video so I can talk about more alien stuff. But here we go, you guys.
I believe we have crashed craft.
They're not crashed. There's not aliens that travel here from interdimensional places and crash on planet Earth, okay? We're shooting them down. This is already proven science. They have taken reversed technology and weaponized it, and that's what we're using now to shoot these UAPs. I don't know if you want to, there's so many different names for them though, okay? So we have the actual aliens themselves, and then we have reversed alien technology. Now, this is something that sparked such interest with me ever since I was like probably about 10 years old or so, when I actually seen a spaceship myself. Now, was this an actual real life alien spaceship, or was it one of the reverse engineered spaceships? I don't know, but ever since that experience, which I'll talk about in a separate video, was quite astounding. And yeah, but anyways, here we go. They're not crashed. They're not crashing. We shoot them down. We shoot them down. This has been happening ever since the 1940s in Roswell, and them coming to these military bases that have nuclear weapons, okay? If I was an alien race, I would not want these humans in outer space with these nuclear weapons potentially threatening my race.
Stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted?
Yes, there's been bodies. We've collected many bodies. Many bodies of different races, okay? Everybody talks about these Greys. There's not just the Greys. There's a lot of different races. We have not just collected them. We've shot them down. We've killed them. And at this point, we are in high danger, potentially, of us ourselves being at war with potential aliens, which I could talk about a conspiracy too, which they've already planned, which is a project they've been working on a long time, because we always need an enemy, it seems like, in the United States, and we're running out of enemies sometimes these days. So it's like, hey, what's the better thing of just to go ahead and we'll use aliens, and we'll use these reversed spaceships, you know, reverse engineered spaceships, to go ahead and like deploy all this stuff. We already have them. We already have them, okay? You want to know about this stuff? You look up some documentaries by Dr. Stephen Greer. Anyways, let's continue on.
This craft.
As I've stated publicly already in my news name.
Now, this dude right here, this is David Grush, or I think his name is David Grush. This is the guy that recently came out like last month. Openly, he is one of the highest intelligence ranking officers before he decided to quit from the Pentagon, who has personal experience with all of this information that has been given to him by high-ranking officials and intelligence, that they've been hiding this from us for a very long time. And why would they be hiding it from us? Because it has to deal with power, money, manipulation. And right now, you guys, if you did the research like I did, you would see that they are using this power for pure corruptness.
Interview, Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Biologicals, they're talking about recovered aliens, okay? No, they're not crashed. Once again, they do not crash. You're not an advanced civilization who's all of a sudden come down to Earth and you're like, oh my God, I can't fly! And then like you just crash or something like that. No, dude, we're shooting them down, and we're doing it on purpose. Why? So we can recover their technology, re-engineer it, just like we've done with tons of technology, Soviet technology, German technology, us as an Americans, not personally myself as an American, but
yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
So yeah, we have. Yeah, we have.
And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress.
These are documented.
One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation.
I've seen them.
And sees a large
I'm seeing more of them today now as I go out at nighttime when I walk around.
Again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down. He said that his FLIR system malfunctioned, and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection, as you would typically see in a test mission.
Grush, as a result of your previous government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself of non-human origin craft?
Yes, I personally interviewed those individuals.
Mr. Grush,
Yes.
as a result of your
It's
previous
real.
government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct
Wow,
knowledge
this is
yourself
exciting.
about ATS, Advanced Technologies, that the U.S. government has?
Based on
And just for a moment, to let you guys know, we have amazing technologies that have been black shelved that could change the way we live here on planet Earth. I'm talking about me possibly getting my vision fixed to where I'm not visually impaired anymore, and I'm not hearing impaired because my vision is horrible. I have optic atrophy, and it is a debilitating disease in which there is no cure for. We have technologies to cure tons of medical stuff that they've been advanced with, and all this stuff is black shelf. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I can in later videos talking about this stuff in more higher detail and stuff like that, and even showing evidence of a lot of this stuff too, which I would like to do potentially. Causing, basically not causing, but being able to have these technologies that would change the face of the planet. And I'm talking about our energy crisis, our poverty, food crisis, because once we solve the energy, well, we could basically start growing food anywhere that we want it, because, excuse me, we would have as much energy as we wanted. If we wanted to grow food in Alaska in the dead of winter or something like that, when the snowpack is 8 feet tall, we would be able to do that because there would be an abundance of energy, which would solve most of every other crisis that we're having on planet Earth right now. Let's continue on.
Conventional advanced tech, I was briefed to the preponderance of the Defense Department's both space and aerospace compartmented program.
Now, once again, just to reiterate, this is a David Grush. This is the guy that came out about last month. He's a high-ranking intelligence officer. Doesn't work with the Pentagon anymore, but this is the whistleblower right now. One of the whistleblowers. There's about 755 whistleblowers. Not all of them want to come out publicly. Why? Because, they're basically for a long time, okay? Go look up and see what happened to Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, that's a documentary, and you guys could watch that, and that's a dude who actually worked out there in, not necessarily Area 51, but in the Area 51, and they were reverse engineering spaceships that they have intentionally crashed here, okay? They made them crash because we want the technology. And I'm telling you guys, with the technology, if they release this technology, everything would change. Everything. Everything.
I don't want to cut you off, but how does a program like that get funded?
Let me just stop for a second too. I'm sorry for pausing this, but when I say everything, I'm talking about with the abundance of energy, the cost of everything goes down. People are no longer going to be using gasoline cars or gasoline anything, which, let's admit this, okay? There's an old saying, it's called go suck on a tailpipe. Do you know what would happen if you sucked on a tailpipe and breathed those emissions coming out of a vehicle? You would die. So just kind of keep that in mind when you look at a vehicle, or if you drive a vehicle. I don't drive, never have driven because I'm legally blind, so my emissions, carbon emissions on planet Earth are next to zero. Yours, you may drive, so just remind yourself, what I'm pumping out of my car kills, okay? It's toxic. It kills. And this is what we've been running off of for more than 100 years, even though we have the technology to change it. But the money is keeping the technology in place with the corruption and everything else. Okay, let's continue on.
Funded.
I will give you generalities. I can get very specific in a closed session, but misappropriation of funds and
Does that mean
self-fund.
that there is money in the budget that is said to go to a program, but it doesn't, and it goes to something else?
Yes, I have specific knowledge of that. Yep.
Has the U.S. government become aware of actual evidence of extraterrestrial, otherwise unexplained forms of intelligence? And if so, when do you think this first occurred?
I like to use the term non-human. I don't like to denote origin. Keeps the aperture open, both scientifically. Certainly, like I've
Non-human.
discussed publicly previously, 1930s.
Do you have any personal knowledge of someone who's possibly been injured working on legacy UAP reverse engineering?
Yes.
Okay. How
Yeah,
are they
that-
injured?
That's what even Bob Lazar said too. He said there was somebody that he was basically replacing too, and this person had suffered either some sort of major injury too in his documentary, and or he had been killed. All right, there are people who have been killed, not just protecting this whole UFO conspiracy and the technology, because the technology has to deal with power. It's very easy to logically think about this stuff, and I believe it's all to be true. You think that we're still living in an age where nothing has advanced in technology in over 100 years? Really? Not much in over 100 years. And if you're talking about solar panels and stuff like that, or wind turbines, those have been around for quite some time, my friends, and those are not going to be the answer to our future. It's not going to be solar, and it's not going to be wind, okay? I'm sorry, there's not enough energy that you can pull out of those units to supply a whole world that needs energy, which a whole third of our world does not have any power, okay? The only reason that you and I have power, and the reason that our, let's just say, electrical bills are so low, it's because a whole third of the rest of the world is not on the same grid. If they were on the same grid and we fed them power and everybody had the same power, your electrical bill would spike, okay? Let's just say you're paying $100, it would probably go up to $1,000 in one night, if not more.
Is it something like a radioactive type situation or something we didn't understand?
You can imagine assessing an unknown unknown. There's a lot of potentialities you can't fully prepare for.
All right, well, that's basically it. This was like a trending thing on, it was on Twitter here, but it came from TikTok or something like that, from some user who basically took a lot of the convention or whatever, the hearing that went on today. And if you guys want to see the full hearing, we will try to have that linked down in the descriptions below, which you could easily find on YouTube, I'm sure. But just to let you know, those are like some of the better parts right there, because it was like a couple hours long or something like that, with this David Grush coming out with all this information, testimony, swearing by perjury that this is all true, okay? Aliens exist. We have advanced technology that we are not sharing with the rest of the world. And you guys just need to go ahead and do some of your own research, okay? Now, also, I want to just go ahead and talk about Dr. Stephen Greer, who has been somebody who's been trying to push this disclosure project for, has been working on it the last 32 years, and has a number of documentaries. Just recently in 2023 came out with a documentary called The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It. I strongly suggest you, as a viewer of this channel, enlighten yourself, spend a couple hours and watch some of these documentaries by Dr. Stephen Greer. He is a very great man, and he's trying to push the envelope on, open on this whole technology and other things like that, because you cannot say at this time we are not in severe crisis here on planet Earth, okay? You may not have crazy stuff going on where you live, but there is definitely crazy stuff like weather events. It's getting hotter and hotter every year where I live here on the west coast of America, and I don't really see it to be changing or anything like that. So once again, you guys, look up the documentaries on Dr. Stephen Greer. We'll try to have some of those listed and maybe some links down in the descriptions below. But once again, this is a trending topic on Twitter. We want to know if aliens are real, which we already know. I already know that they are. I've already been doing the research basically my whole life, as once again, when I was 10 years old, I believe I saw what to be either a human re-engineered spacecraft or another spacecraft. Now, unfortunately, the other two people that I've seen the spacecraft with, unfortunately, I'm not in contact with one of them that is still alive. Not going to give out names here necessarily, but I could come in contact with that person, I think, and finding them on the internet. But unfortunately, the other person to get any word or confirmation from them that this was a true event, because I know these people would still remember this, has unfortunately passed away from a heroin overdose a long time ago. And this was actually one of my childhood friends that had died. So, and yeah, so I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this with you guys. The fact that, this alien stuff is real. I urge you, please go watch these documentaries. Leave a comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you really think that we're the only ones out there? And you have things like religion saying that we are. My grandma would say that, Mother Mary, the one who got pregnant with Jesus, supposedly, and gave birth to Jesus, says that there is no other life out there. But I highly disregard that. The church themselves, like the Vatican Church themselves, has already come out with plans, and they've already said that there's other races out there. And just because that there's other alien races out there does not diminish the fact of gods. And how do you know that there's not one main God that creates everything? Because if he just created us, he didn't not just create everything else, and then he would have created other alien races. So that would be everybody's God, right? So that would be like even the aliens' God would be like, oh yeah, something, I don't know. It's just what my thoughts are. So anyways, from there, you guys, if you enjoyed the video, smash like button. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments sections below. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss out on any of this awesome. I wouldn't say that it's crazy. It is crazy, but it's finally coming out, and it's about damn time. And I hope within my lifetime, we will see some major changes here with technology and these alien reverse technologies that we already have, and are already people that have invented amazing things to get rid of fossil fuels, to get rid of nuclear power, and to get rid of anything else that is ruining this planet, which if we don't tone it down within probably, if we're not going to see a change here soon, we are going to be going into apocalyptic times, my friends. That's at least how I feel. I feel like if we don't change things soon and in a big hurry, we need to cut our munitions down, basically, or not munitions, but our emissions, whatever they're called. The crap that comes out, the carbon dioxide. We're pumping way too much of it into the atmosphere, and it is destroying our planet. So anyways, from there, thanks for watching. My name's GRAVESIGHT. See you in the next one.